We are live. It is 2:02 Central Standard Time in the United States, 8:02 p.m. BST in the UK, and 12:02 Pacific Standard Time. We got TK Bay, who's on
Hey!
The only standard time that matters right now, it is Pacific Standard Time. I am with you on location. On location. At SoFi Stadium, my friend. Enjoy.
That's the home of the used to be San Diego, but now LA Chargers. And there's used to be Oakland, used to be LA, but now the Las Vegas Raiders.
Raiders versus Chargers, my friend. That's how we do it. But
absolutely.
Yes, we are on location reporting live. As the game is getting ready, it hasn't started yet. You can see a lot of people are coming in. Stadium starting to fill up. And your buddy just joining you guys live. We're doing it live.
I love it.
Juan is here too, but he's not up here yet. So otherwise I would have had him jump in with me. But he's on the opposite side of the event. So I got to come in a little bit early before and, start the party.
Well, plus there's some food there, right? They got a little buffet. They're going to spread out for you there. So you got to take advantage of that, of course.
All by myself. TCL is hooking it up. I want to say thank you, obviously, to TCL for letting me join them, allowing me to be part of the game, and just actually experiencing not only my first football game, I've actually been there in person, the beautiful spread,
nice,
and my first time at SoFi, actually inside the stadium. Like crazy. Crazy, man.
Awesome. So I mean, it's a lot of firsts for TK, but not first for TCL. Obviously, you've been
involved.
And they so obviously they're kind of, are they still doing the phone thing, or is that business kind of calm?
Oh, no, absolutely. Remember, TCL runs on like multiple companies. The TV and the mobile division are the ones that invited us in here. So obviously, hashtag TCL X NFL, that's going to be the big one, as well as TCL USA. But they showed us a couple of new devices coming up early next year, some of the next paper stuff coming up, as well as that's going to be coming to the U.S. market. So there's still very much strong mid-ranger experience on the phone, but the next paper is a little bit more unique with better eye care. They want to make sure people don't get a lot of eye fatigue when they're using it for a long time.
Gotcha. Yeah. And Yar's in the chat. We got Barry and Scoops in the chat. Everybody's showing up. And yes, Jacksonville did play the Falcons in London today. There was a game, I believe it's at London Stadium, right?
Yep, right there.
Absolutely. So
in London, was it? I never even knew that.
Yeah, so it's cool. So I'm glad. I mean, I've never used a TCL device, but I do own, I think we own 2 of their televisions, and they're really solid for the price point.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I think the one my daughter bought is because she broke her other one. It had the built-in Roku and everything like that. It was like, I think it was like $130, and I was thinking, okay, probably the picture quality is not going to be super great. The sound's not going to be awesome, but for $130, what the hell? And I was actually pleasantly surprised. It actually
bang for your buck.
Bang for the buck. That they really put on a good display and a good TV.
Yep. Yeah, no. It's their motto. That's literally what they do. And they're partnering with the NFL now. They made them even more of exposure. But if you're looking from a TV from all the way from 40 inches all the way to 98 inches, they showed us one earlier today. Wow. They got you covered, and at all price points. That's the beauty. And if you like Google, they even have ones with Google Assistant built in. Like that's
me and Joe, we're fans of the Google. We
definitely,
like
definitely fans of the Google.
So that's
Googling for Google.
Absolutely. So other than that, how have you been? I know you've been busy the last couple of months. I know you've been at events and kind of bebopping around. Actually, it's hard to kind of track TK Bay right now going on.
He was in Germany not long ago.
Right.
I was going to say, I started my week in Germany. I did a little bit of a pit stop in New York and back in LA for a couple of days. And before I knew it, I'm here in SoFi. I mean, still Southern California, but this is kind of like a last minute, hey, by the way, would you like to join us? I'm like, of course. Anytime. Just give me a buzz. I'm there. So, yeah.
Well, and my question is, did you let the reps know that this was your first NFL game? You'd never been
I have been slowly sharing it with everybody. And just like so far, really like an amazing experience. Energy. That's the big thing.
And we're getting to enjoy it with you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I could not have planned it. This was not planned. Sam was hitting me up and like, hey, TK, you ready to go? And I'm like, okay, crap. I totally spaced on it. But then Juan was like, TK, just go with it, man. Just go. TK will be cool. They're like, go to the suite. We're at a suite right here. We're hanging out. The beautiful TCL suite here.
Them seats are nice.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, I've been to many NFL games, and I've never sat in seats anywhere in the neighborhood.
They look nice.
Those look, because I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's the first of everything.
Right. I'm not about that suite life. I'm about like sitting out and in the bench and the seats, at Soldier Field, because I'm a Chicago Bears fan, so I've been to Soldier Field a couple times, and it's very cold, and the seats aren't near as comfortable as those.
It's unexpectedly. So by the way, it's a little bit cool for us. It's about 62 degrees. We're normally much warmer than that, so it's nice and cool. That's why I'm wearing a jacket.
It's very
cold. I did notice that. Yeah.
63. Yeah. I don't know how you're going to survive, man. I really don't know how you're going to make it.
I've already put up the heaters and everything.
I was expecting, since you don't have hair, like a sock hat, just to kind of keep it real.
So I wanted to wear my hat, but I felt like if I did this, you couldn't see me that well. Like that could be a TK imposter standing in front of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'll do the full face.
This is the TK brand,
Yeah, that's not TK Bay. That's Michael Bay. That's the wrong Bay.
Yes. Working on his next movie, man. No, I'm good.
Absolutely. So yeah,
but it's been busy. It's been a busy time. It's been crazy going from places and a lot of things. Unfortunately, I can't talk about yet.
Right.
Sorry, my life.
Well, that's okay. I mean, that's how, and then that's the thing with having you and Juan on. You guys always have access to things, and there's a lot of times, and where we just like, hey, it's a week away. I've got an NDA. It's on embargo. And that's just the story of talking to YouTubers and talking to people who are in that field like you are. There's just sometimes we catch you. Every time we do, we always have something that's kind of has to be kind of under wraps until it's officially live.
No, but that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about it. You're able to be part of the conversation and say, is this a little bit ahead of it? So you can contribute when things become new. And it's nice. Like I said, just being here shows how much trust the brands and like TCL and other companies have in us. And I appreciate that. I always appreciate it.
That's a kid as well. They picked a good person, definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that's about 20 degrees Celsius. I was going to say, Peter needed to, 63 degrees Fahrenheit, he didn't really know. So Ibrahim did a proper conversion to this, because, they use Celsius. I don't know why.
Of course.
I was Celsius for a few days early this week.
Right.
Germany was actually nice and cool.
I was going to say, use degrees Kelvin, whatever. What the hell?
We're not going to go to Kelvin. Yeah, let's not make things worse than they can be.
So I guess the question is, how, when I know you get the early access, right? You have things on embargo, but you can always tell when things come off embargo because, YouTube, if you're following as many people as Joe and I do, and probably you do as well, it's just like a deluge. And I guess my question is, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like if you don't get a video out there, you're kind of behind the curve? You're one punch behind. I mean, how does that work exactly for folks?
So the reality is, it's kind of like a race, right? There's a certain number of people that are in the race. Some people are ready to go. Some people are not. The main thing you want to try is don't look at it as a competition. The moment you see it as a competition, you're stressing yourself and you're not putting out the best of yourself. So at least for me, what I try to do is to give the TK flavor of the conversation.
Right.
Because everybody's going to show, well, this one looks great, the whole hand. There's different videos that are going to come out. Some people are going to do camera comparisons and all. For me, I like the phone or the tech itself speak. And I try to give my experience based on how I've used it. And if it had only been maybe a week or so that I've had it, not enough time to do a review, I don't do the review. I skip the review till later and I do it hands-on.
Right.
So I try to be part of the conversation, but not making it a definitive, like buy this now or this is, not worth it at all. But you have to kind of figure out what you need to do.
And I guess my question is, and because remember, those units that you're probably getting ahead of time, those are pre-release software, pre-release units, not in the life. So I guess there's that. I guess for you, do you feel that it's always kind of like every device or everything is a little different? You have to kind of gauge. Probably with the iPhone, you're probably okay, but with other units, you may have to kind of figure out how.
It depends on the company, and it depends on how long you've had the unit before it was released. Some companies will give you devices a week before. Some companies will give it to you a month before. And from what I've seen and I've heard, actually, some companies put them out like even longer than that for early testing, like the insider programs and so on. So it really depends. But all of those are predicated with pre-release software. You're right. So you can't really ever say this is a full definitive review because you're using hardware that is not ready. It hasn't been released. It hasn't run the final software. And more than likely, the day we release our videos, there's usually an update.
Right.
Always.
A day one. Yeah, day zero drop or whatever.
Exactly,
And I guess that and for a person like you that really is more about day in the life and that kind of thing, does it put you in a situation where you're like, have you ever been like, I could put this video out, but I don't think it's a real good representation? Or have you created a video and watched it and you go, yeah, this is just not gonna work, man. Like I can't go with this. It's just, I have a brand, I have a reputation. It just doesn't work for me.
So speaking of which, just so you know, everybody showed up now.
Hey!
The room was empty. Everybody's here. Like you got all of the TCL, everybody hanging out with me. If you guys remember Greg right here.
Greggles,
yeah.
And then right there, sir.
Oh, it's man, hey, brother, man. We got it.
Shaka's sitting up there,
dude. I can't. And, hey, Joe, this is the most exposure we've ever had on the podcast. This is fantastic.
I told you. I couldn't pass up the opportunity.
Oh God,
somewhere. No, Ricky's right there. Ricky's right there.
Holy cow!
Ricky? Remember Ricky right there?
Yeah, absolutely. This is incredible.
And then Josh is right there filming. That's Josh Vergara.
Shit! Hey, Josh Vergara, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then if I'm not mistaken, Juan is here somewhere.
Hey, Josh, how's it going, man? Yeah, we. Here's the funny thing. So for me and people like me and Joe, like we have to understand this is part of your crew, right? There's creators, but for people like us who are fans of these guys, you don't want to kind of fanboy a little bit, but to see like Josh and the Poets and Ricky, and you're just like, I can't imagine just going to the game, but just sitting there and having a chance to go, hi.
You go there with your buddies.
Yeah, I mean,
you get to enjoy the game with your friends.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had Josh and Issa on the show, and Josh was one of my favorite. And Issa and I talked for like 45 minutes after the show. So just to see that crew there is fantastic. Man, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, no. And if I can find Juan somewhere where Mrs. Juan's hiding,
Juan's always lurking.
Oh, no, right there, Juan.
Holy cow!
You can't see us, but that's Juan right there.
There he is, right there.
There's the signature cap.
Got the hat. He's got the can go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got you covered. I got you covered on everybody.
Well, you know what, TK, what better way to finish out season 2 than have TK?
Hey,
my man. Holy cow.
That's how the game is going. And literally, look. The game, the players are starting. There are a lot of people taking pictures there. A lot of just all over the place. It's just crazy. But yeah,
absolutely. So SoFi is that a newer stadium? Do you know, or is that?
It is. It is. Yeah.
It is absolutely a new stadium. Yes. It is. Like I said, it's the best one that we have in LA. It is absolutely fantastic.
We don't like the Coliseum. You're not feeling the Coliseum.
I love the Coliseum, but from a technical and like just advancement and everything, this is brand new. The Coliseum will always hold very, very good space, but this is massive.
It costs a lot of money. That.
Well, look at the screens. I mean, you got this. It's like a ring, and it's of course all Samsung. So those displays.
It's got the tech in there.
Yeah, I know. SoFi sponsored by.
That's kind of funny on a TCL event. Later. You got Samsung screens. It's like,
no, don't tweet them out later. I'm sure this is just in the middle of the screen. It'll be fine. We'll be
they're twitching it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we're live from an Xperia, by the way. We're just doing it all good. You got Sony here, Samsung there, TCL everywhere.
Well, and that's what you have to do, right? I mean, well, you have to, because there's just so many different devices that do different things for all of us, and so the tech has to work for you. And for some reason, you go with what you got, right? And that's cool.
Always.
Joe, what I love about your channel now, TK, it's even more diverse now. Like the different products you're doing now, I love it.
You have to give it. Yeah. I love tech. It's not just one. I love all of tech. So anything that helps make our life better, I try to share with them. But that's
I love it.
So have you felt like you've had with the expansion and the diversity? Do you feel like sometimes there's just a little bit of overload? You're just like, I can't get to everything just because of I don't have enough runway and I don't have a time crunch.
No, absolutely. We haven't perfected cloning yet on my side. So until we get a TK Bay 2.0 at the same level, do you have to pick and choose what you're able to work with?
Well, technically, don't you have a TK Bay 2.0 because you got your son? Now, my question is, has he shown? I mean, he's getting to the point now where he's starting to get into things. Has he shown any interest in the tech space? Does he really? Is it more dad's thing?
It's more gaming. He's wanting to get into Minecraft and Valorant and Apex Legends, all of those. So for him, it's more gaming and streaming. So I'm hoping at some point that translates over as well to maybe more tech and stuff. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Right. Now, I guess, how do you feel about getting him out? And because I don't think I think how old is that? 11 or 12 or 13? I think
he's 13, yeah. He'll be 14 pretty soon. And he's almost as tall as I am. That's how bad.
Well, Well, of course,
Manny,
that's how it
they
is.
grow
with
so
parents,
fast.
right? Yeah, unless you have girls, then they're shorter than you.
Has he got a beard yet?
He's not with the beard yet. No, he's
No, not
enjoying
yet.
the luscious hair. He's enjoying all the hair.
Right. Well, it's okay. As long as it's just kind of like he's trading, right? He's got no hair up here,
Yeah.
but all the hair here. So,
Absolutely.
so I
I wish
guess
I had both. I could have just lost both, but it doesn't work.
No, I like you like this, TK.
No, I think it's like I kind of just missed the whole long beard. And I guess my question is are we getting back to that, or is that kind of just are you doing
I will
really?
say I will say this: when the missus, my boss 2.0, right there, we had a long conversation. It was either I get rid of the whole thing or I trim it. So it's been the trim. So for the most part, it's going to be trimmed, maybe a little bit longer. But
Okay.
I've seen some of my thing where like down to here. That's a lot of work too.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I know. I was going to say. I mean, that's and so I guess after IFA, so that was I assume that was why you're in Germany for IFA, correct? That was what was going on.
No, actually with Germany, I was with Xiaomi. So Xiaomi just launched
the 13T Pro,
the T and the T Pro. So I was it was nice of them. They invited me over. Got a chance to check out the devices. There was a couple of videos. They even released a watch and a band. So,
well, yeah, you know me.
Sam loves the bands.
Oh yeah, you should check out the new one. $40, and it's even better than before. 16 days of battery life. It's really good. Juan's wearing his right now. I had to switch out to something else. But yeah, no, a lot of good things for Germany. And then
crazy good value.
New York is a little bit of a secret thing, but it won't be a secret for too long. But yeah.
Right. I was going to say, well, because usually that's a couple of weeks. And of course, we've got the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. So what are your, obviously not talking about the details of the phone because, I mean, Google's already, spilled all that.
Everything is leaked. I'm like, from the commercials to the spec sheet to the English and non-English versions of the commercials, we already know.
Right.
I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm hoping that we didn't get everything. I'm hoping that we didn't get the whole story of it. I'm also hoping that maybe there'll be other devices that we haven't heard from. Like we heard the rumors that there's going to be a Watch 2. I saw somewhere that somebody is supposed to be a new Buds. But I'm actually hoping that what they're advertising for the Pixel 8 Pro comes true. Like they're really setting the bar up there. And the features aren't doing it they're seriously. I'm really excited, but I want to hold my excitement till the day. And I'll be honest, I don't have the device yet, but once I'm able to get my hands on it, we'll definitely be sharing a lot of opinions on how that feels.
And I look forward to that.
Just to see,
right?
Yeah, I think it's the October 4th, I believe.
4th, yeah. Look, we're literally right up there. We're almost there.
And I mean, just from the audio eraser to the taking a subject and actually having to move it in frame, it's crazy. Some of the stuff they're doing is crazy.
Pro mode, the pro mode finally.
Oh, there you go.
Hands-on pro mode, yes.
Look at the rest of the team showing up.
Wow,
That's all the special teams. Yeah,
exactly. Look, this is crazy.
They're all there for you, TK.
Right.
Absolutely, yes. That's exactly where they're here for me.
Yep, definitely.
That's right. Now, question
is for the game.
Has Juan been to an NFL game? I have a feeling he has been. He seems like a sports guy.
Since I have you guys in my earbuds, you won't be able to answer, but I'm assuming you've been to a game before, I'm assuming, right? Long time since I've been to a game, but he has been before. And
that's okay.
Mr. Vergara, the man of the hour.
What's up, man?
Johnson Juan. Can you say that 5 times as fast? Johnson Juan.
Oh man, like I said, for us, this is awesome. Like I said, I'm just glad that you're getting to experience a Chargers game. It's actually going to be a pretty good game. The Raiders are pretty decent.
I'm excited. I have never seen a game from not only being in it, but also from this perspective, being in his suite and being able to be there with a lot of my buddies as well. Like not just going to the game with like all of them. Like seriously,
taking the atmosphere.
Exactly. Look. Like everybody back there hanging out.
Absolutely, yeah. So
we're hanging on 5G, by the way. We're doing this mobile. We're not connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's a little bit of lag every once in a while, but other than that, it's holding up pretty well. Now,
pretty decent, yeah.
When I've been at other sports events, and when you got a bunch of people starting to hit that bandwidth hard, it's going to start to kind of get a little chunky.
Yeah, it will eventually.
Yeah.
So Peter's got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Peter, do you think the Pixel 8 Pro will make the Pixel Fold less desirable if Pro features were locked to the Tensor 3? So I'm assuming if you got a Tensor 2, if you got the Fold, you're not maybe getting that same software experience. It looks like it's to the 8 Pro. How do you feel about the foldables and the fact that there's going to be some software I guess, differentiation or that kind of thing.
The foldable approach for Google right now is very much a Pixel 7 Pro with a Pixel tablet. It combined into one device. And that's where the fold stands. It's not trying to be an 8 Pro. It's literally a 7 Pro. So when you look at it from that perspective, if it comes to the 8 Pro because of Sensor 3, more than likely at some point or another, Google will find a way to bring down some form of that feature to older generations, being that they're technically more their recent flagship. I don't think it's going to be holding them back, but more than likely we're going to see Pixel-only device features that is going to be kept. So I feel like that's what we're going to notice, where it's only for Pixel, but the 8 Pro and the 8 will have some of the unique features, maybe in the Pro mode. I'm pretty sure they can bring that down, but more so the ability of doing that audio processing where it may rely on new microphones, that may also be specific to that device. So there's going to be differences, but some form or another will come down to earlier generations.
Yeah, and so do you think Pixel is all? I mean, with the Fold, seems like it's getting pretty good reception, pretty good. I mean, except for a couple little nitpicky things. Do you think that Pixel really feels good about being all in on the Fold, or do you think that's kind of a like with Microsoft? They kind of did a couple iterations and are kind of like, I think we're going to stay with the Fold.
They need a little bit of work. I truly believe what they have right now is good, but one of the things obviously is because it's based on the 7 Pro with the G2. One of the main things is the heating issues that we see in people feeling. So the battery life and the heating change the approach, but it's the first foldable. It's a device that Google's been wanting to put out for some time. It has a lot of leverage power from what they've built up in the last 2 to 3 years since the Pixel 6 Pro. So to a certain point, it's a success, but it's a step one. It's a Gen 1. Once we get to Gen 2 and 3, that's when they're going to start shining more. And then hopefully the pricing will also kind of reflect that as well.
Absolutely. And we're seeing that the OnePlus Open's coming out. So I mean, now here's the thing with OnePlus. Yeah, it may be a first gen, but not really because it's BBK, right? So it's really not right. So how do you feel about that? I mean, it sounds like they're going to come in at a lower price point. They're trying to maybe disrupt the market a bit. Like, how do you feel?
I really hope they do. I really hope they do. Because I'll say this: from the Find N2 and the Find N1, the first 2 generations that Oppo put out, they are way ahead of when they need to be from a hardware design point. And the form factor, as you know, Sam, it's very comparable to the Duo. It's close to hard. It's the right size of giving us 2 smaller displays and a big display on the outside that is not encumbered or too long. If OnePlus copies that and the leaks that we've seen are all true, they have a very good contender. How will it handle software and so on? That's the one thing we need to kind of wait and see. What do they do to make it unique outside of just being a folding display? You know what I mean? It has to live in the software. Samsung's been doing it really well. So OnePlus needs to bring their A game. Oppo needs to let OnePlus shine in that manner.
Yeah, and I guess obviously we both know the Panos Panay leaving the Surface team, moving to Amazon, and so that effectively, and they also not only Panos left, and they said that Surface and that division is pretty much squashing any kind of experimental. So we're expecting the Duo 3 is essentially a gone product, but then he makes a comment about the Kindle, so it's kind of disappointing, and also. Last month was the first month that Duo 2 got an update, and Duo OG did not get an update. So OG Duo is officially gone. They didn't get anything. So, yeah, and it's a shame because I still have my OG Duo, and I like that device. And do you think that
Wansu has it too?
Yeah, absolutely. And my question is, though, do you think anybody's going to pick up a dual screen mantle, or are we done with that? Are we pretty much just solid screen? You know, are we just foldables?
So right now, unfortunately, Microsoft has been holding that torch for some time. They started it, they built it, they gave us the phone that we wanted in the first place in the second generation.
Right.
But from a mechanical standpoint, unfortunately, everybody's doubling down on the folding display. I'm not going to say folding, the bending. You're never really folding it all the way. There's always an open crease in the back.
Yeah.
Every company has been putting their hands into it. So you see OnePlus coming into it, Oppo's in it. Honor's in it, Xiaomi's in it, Samsung's in it. I mean, other than Apple, they're the only people that don't. But I think the reality is, for the most part, it's going to be this type of tech. It's the most accessible. It's the easiest one to build. And believe it or not, the advancements that Microsoft has done can only work on Microsoft. They're not going to share that technology with the end. So unfortunately, unless Microsoft comes back, we'll have to see other devices pick up the form factor. But what I will say, though, if anybody can, it would be Lenovo. If there was a company do it, Lenovo would have been the one to bring it up.
Yeah, because they've got the laptop, haven't they? They got the laptop that does it.
The laptop's fantastic. I mean, that's
They've been doing that all for a long time. Yeah, Lenovo has had like the division of Lenovo that does PCs and their computer monitors and so on. It's crazy. Like a lot of Microsoft as technology type. Obviously not exactly the same, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So yeah. I mean, and I guess, and so we obviously we're in the Apple, we're at the iPhone 15, and they're getting a little bit of heat, not no pun intended, right? So, interesting. How do you feel about?
How you play this. Some of them, I mean, a lot of different rumors going around about what's causing it. The biggest thing at the end of the day, though, is it needs optimization. It needs software updates. It needs optimization with different applications. So growing pains. Those are the things that we need to understand. Sometimes hardware isn't 100%, and software needs to catch up.
Well, let's just face it, though, Sam. These days, brands put stuff out half baked.
Well, and here's the thing, though.
They don't want to be late to the party, right?
It's a new 3-nanometer chip. They obviously reduce some of the size of the phone. I mean, as far as weight, so obviously something changed.
And the materials. They changed the materials on the actual hardware. Yeah.
Yeah, you got titanium, not aluminum, so there's some heat change as far as dispersion. I mean, you've made some serious changes. I just don't like the fact that Apple every year is a 17.0.0. There's always those patch releases, and if you're a software guy like I am, you don't like patch releases. That's bad. And the funny thing is, Apple's one of the few companies that is allowed to do a 17.1.0.1.2.3, and then 17.2.
We now expect it, though. That's the sad part. We've come to expect it.
And then software development circles having patch releases, that's something that's definitely anomalous. You don't want, and it's funny is now with iOS, that has become the norm, and everybody just accepts it as software design. I'm like, that's terrible. It's your own OS. You own the source code. It's 17 iterations of the same OS. How do you guys not have this figured out? And I think they said the rest is third-party apps, and they're going to release another patch release to kind of fix the thermals on the third party.
And they have to. That initial impression is so important. You're right. They should have baked it in right, and at the beginning, give it a couple more days, maybe a couple more weeks of testing. But I'm really surprised that in their internal testing and all the things that they've done, not once did anybody install Instagram. Like of all the testing they did. All the videos and all the pictures and everything, but not one of them wanted to go on Instagram. So I'm assuming something fell through and they're testing it,
Well, and I guess my question is, and this is the overall broader strategy of Apple versus Google in the United States, do you honestly see Apple starting to continue to expand that, especially with younger people like in your son's age and becoming the new consumer, right? The new 20 consumer. Do you see iOS in the United States continuing to expand and it really kind of Android really being the also ran in 5 to 7 years in the US market?
I don't think Android's going to be going away, but I feel like the expansion that you're talking about is absolutely true. I've had conversations with my son where he's telling me his friends are commenting on the fact that he's not, a blue bubble or he's a green bubble, and like this whole conversation of are you on Android and jumping into it, somebody else that has a group chat or so on. Look, at the end of the day, I teach my son to experience both ecosystems. I am very much an Android person, and all of the devices he's used. My wife is on Android, and we use iPhones for work. My day job requires me to have an iPhone. But it's the choice of what you want to do with the tech. Outside of the U.S., iMessage is not a thing. We are living in an absolute bubble when it comes to that. If you go to Europe, you talk to anybody, WhatsApp, iMessage is not
Telegram,
a thing.
Signal.
Telegram, or even in Asia, it's WeChat.
Oh, WeChat for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. Outside of us in the U.S. market where we talk about iMessage issues, I think most people are not even there. And then when you go to Europe, to Berlin, and you see other countries, there's a lot more Android, Samsung devices. I even saw a lot more Pixels on the strip than I usually see. So it depends on the market, but in the U.S., yes, Apple is making very good headway. They're still somewhat of a premium product, so not everybody's going to be jumping into them because they're not going to devalue their product, right? You're not going to be able to pick up you're not going to go down unless it's an SE, pick up an iPhone for like $400. So it's still very much a right of, like I'm not saying gatekeeping it, but they have a certain value into that. We'll have to see how Android kind of steps up with the new market. If OnePlus is able to disrupt the foldables, we're going to see a lot more headway in that market. I'll say this. I had more people ask me about the Flip 5, why is that phone, bend than I've ever had in my life, and it's because it's new tech.
Right.
And they're like, one person was like, does it run iOS? I'm like, it's not an iPhone. It's not. Everything's an iPhone. It's a Samsung.
People can see the value in it as well, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see.
Yeah, I was going to ask too. Is I know I saw also I read an article that the Google Pixel is really picking up traction in Japan, and I find it to be fascinating. And I mean, I guess my question is, I mean, you seem to be a guy that kind of has an idea. What are your thoughts on? Is it? I mean, you would think Samsung, you know, their proximity to a lot of Chinese brands because they're in that Asia sphere. Why Pixel, and why do you think in Japan Pixel specifically is starting to gain traction in that region? I find it to be fascinating. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm also going to say is the same way they were able to change the approach to their the advertising in the U.S. I think they're starting to put more money internationally to advertise Pixel devices, and with the new upcoming launch, Japan is basically the tech hub of the world. If you love tech, Japan is a massive place, and you see a lot of companies like Sharp, a lot of Sony. We're talking on the Sony, homegrown in Japan.
Right. I mean, can't be more Japanese than Sony, right?
Absolutely. We're already on a Japanese device, so that's it. Point in case. No.
Right.
I think Google's stepping up their marketing. Google's realized that if we add more money into it, we're able to sell more devices. And internationally, they're stepping it up. You're starting to see their ads in newspapers, in TV ads. I remember the cab ride to the airport. The TV place on the back of the cab.
Oh, the seat, the TV.
Pixel. It was all Pixel advertising. I'm like, wow.
Like, well, it's funny. I guess Alphabet finally, after the Pixel 6 Pro, thought, you know what? We might want to tell people about these devices so they know they exist. Maybe we should try that. You know,
you should try out Pixel. Yeah.
And I guess it's also because maybe Sony is starting to look as more of a niche brand, and also it can be a little cost prohibitive. I mean, some of these Sony devices are extremely expensive, and you bring in the Pixel 8 Pro and the 8, it's like 699 yen or dollars. You're like, okay.
No, but remember, Sony you don't stumble into. You look for. That's what Sony's approach to the thing is. It's a very much a niche experience, but it's a very well-rounded niche experience.
Oh,
you want a headphone jack, you want an SD card, you want stereo speakers, you want 4K display. The One Mark V is a step above, but it's not for everybody. It is absolutely not for everybody, and I only recommend it for somebody that's looking for those specific features because, like you said, the price kind of, it matches the requirements that you're looking for.
And on top of the fact that Sony devices, and I guess this would be a good thing unless you're a person who wants to pick up one in the used market, but they really don't get cheaper. It's really hard for them to. Yeah, I mean that's good for. But it was funny as I picked up the 5 Mark IV, and I was like, and it's funny as I got the device, I'm all excited, and I watched Dan's videos like, yeah, the thermal's stuck, and I'm like, and then as sure as shit, I was at like 2 weeks in. I'm like, man, why is this thing getting hot? And then it's like, I really wish I would have gone into the. I wish I would have gone to the 5, the 1 series instead of the 5 because the 5.4 definitely had some thermal issues just doing daily tasks. It was really
5.5's different. 5.5's a bit different.
Very different too, yeah.
And is that the Gen 2? Basically, it's the Gen 2, right? Is that basically what we're chalking that up to? In some
a little bit more than that. I think it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Different optics, different materials even. The display, if you look at it, there's a little. It's not the same as the original 5 series. They went more closer to the 10, which is available in Europe, than it is in the US, and so it's closer to the 10 than it is to the 1. It carries the 5 because it's the model, but yeah, I mean, I had a chance to play with one while we were in Berlin, and it is. Yeah, I'll say this: it's not the same. What you have, although it may warm up, is still a better phone in a certain aspect.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a shame because I really like. So what do we? What's happening on the field? Are we starting to kind of get nearer game time? I know I see the stadium starting to fill up. People are getting.
They're starting to usher people into it. Goes down, I think. They're talking about Howard Hughes and the Latina athletes. I'm not sure what that is.
I'm not sure either. But yeah,
they cleared the stadium. Now everybody's kind of moving away. Oh.
Well, it looks like the game's going to probably start. The game starts at 1 p.m. local, right? That's what we're.
And that's in 22 minutes.
That's in 22 minutes. And of course, because it's the NFL, we can't show the screen, so that's fine. So I mean, and honestly, TK, I mean, I hate to. I want to keep you on the show, but I know you got all those other folks in there, and I kind of like.
Yeah, let's let TK enjoy himself.
Well, we're kind of feel like I'm kind of taken away from your experience of pregame and all this kind of stuff and everything else, and I really appreciate it. But I
wouldn't have missed it, man. I'm glad we were able to make it work. That was the other thing.
Thanks TK for bringing us along.
Well, you know what's funny is TK sent me a video, audio message, and I was like, "Wow!" I got an audio message from TK. It was like 34 seconds. I'm like, Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
I wanted
He's
to
keeping
convey
that forever.
Yeah, you know, like with the audio, it's much better. We can type things to each other, but I seriously, not that I forgot about you guys, I just forgot that it was today. And it was more
Oh, man, I know. I can understand why, TK. It's the excitement of that. I mean,
it's just back to back, back to back. And I try to plan things, but there are always those little things that pop up by themselves. And this was one of them. But I got to bring you guys with me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we're so excited. We got 35 minutes with it. But like I said, me and Joe really appreciate the fact that you and Juan and other creators who really have better things to do with your day, and you still decide to come on our show and actually and try to come on. And we are so excited and so much supporters of you and Juan and Josh and all those guys.
Absolutely.
You know, this podcast is really a labor of love for us, and honestly, we do it just because we realize we're not going to, we're not reviewing phones, and we're not part of that, that lifestyle.
Fun, man. You gotta have fun.
Always.
If you're enjoying it, do it.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point. Yeah, you never want it to feel like work.
No,
absolutely. And so we always appreciate you. And like I said, you make sure you tell the crew there, Juan and TK, and everybody, make sure you let them know that we appreciate them. We know you guys do this for love of the game, and you're not making a ton of money on it. It's just because you're like tech and you're enthusiasts, and the fact that you've been a supporter and a fan of our channel and our show, and have always, even through the Across the Podcast and now the Nomad Tech Project, it really warms my heart that I really appreciate the fact that you and TK and everybody has supported us all these years.
Big time.
Of course. And again, wish you guys the best of luck with the podcast. Thank you very much. And again, I hope you guys have fun, and we'll talk more, I'm sure, on the next one. And hopefully maybe we can have you guys come on in the best of our week with one of my
Oh, yeah. Don't forget, anybody who's obviously in this channel, make sure that Thursday after, really late for me, but actually get on the best of our week. Make sure that it's Juan and TK talking tech, and it's fantastic. And it's auto downloaded every time, and I'm always there, man. And I appreciate it. So enjoy the game. Let's go Chargers, because I don't really care about the Raiders. So yeah.
Okay.
All right,
you guys a quick fan the last time before we go. Appreciate it, man.
Man, let's go.
That is awesome. All right. I love it.
Take care.
Thanks, TK.
Take care.
You rock.
I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
What a legend.
The fact that he still, most creators would have possibly told us, hey, look, I'm busy. I'm on this event. It was last minute. Hey, can we reschedule? The fact that TK absolutely did not miss a beat, and he was just like, hey, I'm gonna be local.
Well, Sam, even before we started it, I said to him, look, if you want to cancel, enjoy yourself, we understand. But he said, no, we're gonna go with this. Fair play to him.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, and the fact that you saw the Poets and Greggle's TV and everybody else in that channel, I'm saying, I feel bad. I don't want to take away from TK's experience.
That's the thing. Yeah,
it's first NFL game. It's a stadium. He's on an event, and the fact that he was willing to spend 35 minutes with us, is awesome. And
Sam, did you prep them questions? You just firing.
No, and here's the funny thing, and I guess and Barry, I know Barry Johnson in the chat, and please don't say this because I know he's always said this. All this stuff. Everything about this show is never scripted. It's just me thinking about things. And now I will tell you, I don't prep the questions, but I definitely think ahead of time what I'd like to ask TK or ask Juan.
Yeah.
Variant, right? Because I know what they're bringing to the table. But none of those questions are scripted. That's just me off the top.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Can you imagine how I might be successful if I actually planned any of this shit? Actually,
maybe we should from season 3.
No,
a tad, not like a.
I do like the fact that I do like your approach that we're gonna kind of keep the core group, I guess, as it were.
Yeah.
But then I see that the fact that you see Juan and who's I would call core group, TK, and Peter and anybody else on the show. But it's one of those things where I don't want to change it too much because they come to expect us to kind of wing it a little bit, right? I don't think.
See what Ibrahim said. We should rename it to Winged It.
Winged It? Yeah, fuck it, right? Just let it.
Ibrahim, and I'll eat chicken wings live.
and it won't just be you. Willie chick these together. So that's
that sounds good, man.
and I guess it's what it is I don't know about you, Joe, but I think this is a good way to discuss like the rest of our season, right? So this is now I guess two seasons, and folks, as you can tell, we're not exactly professionals here, so we don't really figure out what a season is. We don't know. But we made a decision to kind of just, to be honest with you, it's I've reached out to a bunch of creators, and I would say probably a half dozen. And some of these people are smaller folks, and some of these people are kind of larger folks, right? It's very hard because remember, this is their time, right? And that time is money, right? If you're a business person, right, you always talk about time is money and that kind of thing. And the fact that Juan and TK and all these creators have come on the show and really wanted to talk to us, let's be real. We're a very small show, right? We don't do a whole lot of things. We can't really drive a lot of your traffic, and that's not why we're here. The fact that those people decide to come on the show and the people that don't come on, I can understand why they don't come on. I understand.
Yeah, and I can understand it too. Yeah.
And so that's why I think Joe's approach, I think, is appropriate for season 3. We're just going to kind of stay. I mean, we will reach out to folks like that, but look at TK. I mean, if that was anybody else, if they were in that situation, they would have canceled.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That makes sense.
And understandably would have canceled.
Absolutely, and I agree with this comment. Money is pizza, and pizza is knowledge, and pizza is the greatest thing. Really,
you are a big pizza fan, aren't you? Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind pizza, but
no. I guess my question is, what is your favorite go-to food?
My favorite go-to food. I like food too much to have one go-to. I mean, I do like.
You have like maybe a type of cuisine, maybe not a specific dish, but maybe type of cuisine.
Yeah, I mean, I do like kebab.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of those here. It's hard. Maybe in like other cities in St. Louis, the kebab and stuff is a little. Well, where I'm at, it's impossible because I'm on the woods.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do like it. What's your favorite?
Oh, honestly, my favorite food is actually a corn dog. I hate to
Oh, really?
It. Oh yeah, man. I'm a sucker.
Well, at a stadium. At a stadium.
Or just anywhere. Like I said, today we did a little bit of shopping for tomorrow's thing, and there's a Sonic, and they always have 2 corn dogs. So I was like 2 corn dogs. I just eat them in the car as I'm driving. It's kind of cool. But yeah, fish and chips. Oh well, don't tell. Well, here's the thing. I know for a fact that
teasing Jermaine.
If I'm in the UK, I'm definitely going to get a proper English, right? And then fish and chips and all that stuff, right? I'm definitely not going to pass on that. And even if my tour guide, right, who person who's supposed to help me in country, didn't know what Buckingham Palace was, and didn't take me to a proper chip shop, I would just go looking for a local chip shop. And do you do that? Is there like a local?
Literally one around the corner from my house.
Right, and is it like here's in the United States, we have these things. I guess you call it a greasy spoon, right? It's like this little kind of a divey kind of place that probably isn't really like the cleanest in the world, but their food is so on point. Just because. Do you have like places like that in Luton where it's like a real local shop owned by a local couple and they just like crush food?
Yeah, there's plenty of. I don't really know Luton that well, but there's definitely places like that all over. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So let's see what we got. We got with tartar sauce, of course. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, tacos.
Just for pizza. I'm sober today. This is water for Jimmy. I'm staying hydrated. Yeah.
I'm not Jimmy. It's Sunday. And the funny thing is, I actually earlier today I thought the U.S. government was shutting down because they didn't pass the budget thing. So I was like, well, Monday was going to get real interesting for me with work, and Joe Biden decided to pass. So we've staved off a government shutdown until I think November 15th. So it's good. So I guess it's good and not good. I don't know. It's not. U.S. government's all jacked up, dude. It's all good. So that's enough of that. But yeah, I agree. Tacos. I mean, duh. Who doesn't like? I don't know anybody who doesn't like tacos. Do you? You know what I'm saying?
I like all Mexican stuff, actually.
Well, I'm not specifically Mexican, but I've never heard anybody go tacos. Not really. Not a taco fan. Who doesn't like tacos?
Yeah, true. I haven't heard anyone. But I haven't asked many people, to be fair.
Okay, so and here's the thing, and I see Jimmy's comment. My question is if I did come to the UK, do I have to do anything specifically to get to Northern Ireland, or is it part of the UK? Like, do I have to like do something specific, or is it just getting there? Right? Is it like if I go to Ireland, I realize it's another country, so I realize that there's some visiting stuff. But with Northern Ireland, can I just drive to Northern Ireland and I'm okay? I mean, I don't know how it goes over there.
You can't just drive there because there's a bit of water in between.
You don't have a bridge or nothing, or I guess it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know. How would I guess I have to fly there? Would I have to fly there, or take a train?
Can you fly? You can't fly, can you, Sam?
Not personally, no.
Super Sam.
No. But yeah, I would definitely. He says I should recommend Mourne Seafood Bar for fish and chips. Okay. So all right, let's see. Is it Mourne fish and chips, right? Mourne's. What does he call it? I'm sorry. Mourne Seafood Bar. Okay, let's see if I can find
Seafood Bar.
Okay, yeah, it's in Belfast. Okay, well, there is a location in Belfast.
I'd love to go to Belfast.
Dude, that's a nice. Oh, here's the thing. I'm digging this, and this is the kind of stuff I love about. And this is why I like the UK, and I can't wait till I actually get a chance to go there. So look at the way this is set up. Like I'm totally feeling this.
Let's have a look.
I'm gonna try to see why is it. Oh shit! Whoa! Oh, whoa. I TK'd us. Ha! No,
you've done a TK-ception.
I did a TK-ception. Okay, so let's see.
Wow. Is that in honor of TK, seeing as we had him as guest? I like that. You've done that on purpose. It was good.
No, I totally blew that. So let's see.
Although he might sue you now.
Right. Okay, here we go. Okay. That's the location in Belfast. I love that.
It looks swanky, yeah.
Dude, it's just like this little you would just walk right past it. It looks like you would just accidentally walk right past this place, but you got a place up here kind of going on. Dude, yeah, I'm all in on Northern Ireland. Yeah, I should go check it out. I'm assuming, Jimmy, is this the location that you're referring to? Or because I see that they say that there's other locations.
Reggieception.
Yeah, well, maybe. But yeah, I guess they have different. Yeah, it's in Belfast.
There's some good whiskey there as well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at some of the seafood. Like, I'm in, man. Shit, yeah, dude. I'm all in. Yeah, he says couldn't recommend it more. Okay, so that's for sure. So I gotta go to Northern Ireland. So I guess my question is, how do you get there? I guess that's the best. That's best. I don't have a clue.
Google Maps.
I can't drive there. There's barely water. All right.
Yep.
Well, good. So, well, I guess what else do we got going on as far as we got season 3. So, and I don't know, are we going to go next week with season 3? Because we usually start with Juan, and I haven't reached out to Juan. Do we want to take a break for a week? Do you want to just go solo?
I'm easy. I mean, I'm easy with it, mate. We I still need to make a logo. As you can see, the actual channel has changed name now, and it's using a free picks picture in the logo. We really need to get that sorted out. Right. I'm digging the red Lenny's done though. I quite like the red.
I like the red. The road.
That's the free picture I'm talking about.
Right. I definitely don't. And I will tell you is I got a lot of feedback at work because somebody decided for some reason one of our communication things was about podcasts, and somebody decided
you said about this. Yeah.
Right. And so I put the logo up there, and I got like literally 25 people at the bank going, "Hey, the logo's interesting, but you guys both look like, Joe looks like he's got shot in the ass with a tranq dart, and you look like you're going to murder people. So did you guys realize like how bad it was going to look?" I go, just like anything else with our show, I didn't really do any kind of.
I mean, that's quite fitting for our show. I think it suits.
Yeah, so we definitely aren't going to put pictures of ourselves anymore.
No, we decided on that. Yeah.
So what we're going to do, and for season 3 is going to be, and this is where I'm going to reach out to our larger audience, right? Is do you think that's a good approach? Do you like having a lot of the guests? like having a mix of me and Joe just on our own, and then having. I mean, I guess we're looking for some feedback from the folks.
Yeah, feedback's definitely needed. Because we ain't got a clue.
Well, and here's the thing. At the end of the day, I don't do this just for us. I also do it for us. I also do it for the folks that listen and download and pay attention and follow us and stuff. So this is where you can steer the show. Like, I mean, do you think we should reach out to guests? We've tried. And so this is where I tell people,
I can't say I've tried that much, if I'm honest, but
well, the problem
I don't really like the idea of like trying hard.
Well, and the problem is I mean, we've had Joshua Vergara on, and we could probably, I've reached out, but I have reached out to a couple of creators and have no response. I'm like, people like, we had Shane, Scary Literal, and his channel's taken off. We've had Adam, and we've had, other folks like that, Adam Dowd, and some really good creators in the space. But I agree with Greg. Like, a good mix is both good. But here's the problem: is I've reached out to some of these creators, and they don't even respond with a no. Now, I will tell you that on some of these, I usually just use X, like a message. I think we need to set out. I need maybe in the third season, I need to pick a couple of creators I would really like to reach out to, and just do it through official channels, right? They have like emails, and that kind of thing, and just try to reach out. And like I said, I reached out to a couple of people, and I'm not going to mention who they are because I don't want to. I don't want it to sound like they basically saw this and goes, "Who the fuck are these two idiots?" Right?
Lenny's reached out to someone who's interested. Kevin Breeze, he's going to come on at some point.
Yeah, and then you mentioned also Daniel Rubino, who he apparently knows through the Windows Central, and that would be great. And I'm not calling. I'm not. We and Jermaine is what I would call Jermaine is definitely one of our, I guess, insiders or regulars. So it'll be basically what I'm looking at.
Yeah, he's part of our core group, definitely.
Right. Jermaine,
whether he likes it or not.
Andrew, well, I don't care if he likes it or not. He's always been very, very good about coming on, and so.
Yep.
But Jermaine would obviously be one. Roger, but I realize he's busy with stuff, and but like Andrew, Fat Pros, having him on occasionally, TK and Juan, Barry Johnson, obviously, and well, here's the thing, and this is all depending on their bandwidth and their ability, because they're working a channel. Barry's always on Gigi's podcast. I see him a lot of times on Eric. He's at Computer Solutions. A lot of times he's on LaShawn's show. So he's very, very busy with stuff. So he doesn't want to be, well, you are. So you can be mad if you want to, but you're part of our crew. So, But
he's like, I'm not with them. No, I'm not.
No, it's in Dundrum. I hope I'm saying that right. Dundrum, which is in Newcastle, Northern Ireland. Not Newcastle in England. Oh, so there's a Newcastle in Northern Ireland too. Okay, so I guess my question is, was that location not the same one?
I love that. Aditya says he's waiting for Lou Unbox Therapy to contact us.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, of course he won't contact us directly. He'll get someone else to contact on his behalf.
Okay, so this is apparently. Okay, so let's see. This is the one that
we're going back to the fish and chip shop.
Yeah, I got to get the right one. So apparently, this is the interior of the one he's talking about. Morn Seafood Bar. This one's in Dundrum.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a seafood guy, but I do. When I see food, I eat food.
Right. Well, I think that's a different kind of seafood. I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm definitely.
Looks nice though. It does look very nice.
Yeah. And full disclosure, I did reach out to Lou. Never heard back from him, but obviously, I mean, that's kind of a tall order. I saw that Viper had on. I think they like. I saw that. Oh geez, I'm trying to think. Front Page Check. I can't think of his name. Yeah. Apparently he got a little bit of heat because he did the iPhone 15 video, and I actually thought it was fairly good, well done, where he's talking about iOS and iPhone and all kind of stuff.
Yeah. John Prosser
you're
talking about.
Yeah, John Prosser. I thought it was fair. I thought it was fair. I think if you definitely a fanatic, or you're definitely a person who really is going to throw shade, you could see it. But I thought it was fairly well done, and how he approached it. So yeah, John Prosser's a good dude. We'd love to have John on. But if we don't, that's cool. And that's what I'm saying. So in the season 3, we're definitely going to have our core group of folks, but I will occasionally, Joe will also reach out to people and kind of just say, hey, this is what we're going to try to do if they come on. I honestly, person I love to have is, oh geez, I'm having a bad time remembering people.
It's fine. I have a bad memory too, mate. So
no, normally I have all these people like right on
the bad memory project.
Obviously, no shit, an old guy project, right? Obviously, Greggles. He's always been one that I'm also. Yeah. There's a guy I follow, Steve Alicious Tech. I don't know if you know Steve Alicious. I think he does a really good job. Because he talks a lot about a lot of phones that aren't mainstream. He really does a good job, I think.
We need to get Shark back on again.
Oh yeah, Shark's great. Shark's very good. Sam Cole, and like I said, and the problem with Jimmy is we need to get Jimmy involved because he knows all the humans.
No, what I want to ask is, Jimmy, would you like to be a guest sometime?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, Trenton, and we had Trenton on Ben's Gadget Reviews. I just seen sister, so yeah, good luck. Yeah, I would like to have her on. I'd like to have a lot of people on, but and it's just reaching out to these people. And look at Juan and TK. I mean, Jesus, TK went to Germany. He went to New York. He came back, and now on Friday he got asked about this TCL event. Basically, it's a football game, and he could easily cancel. And that's what we're running into, right? These creators, the cycle never stops for them. They're always being out to TCL and Apple and Xiaomi and always, and then you got people like I have nothing but tech. It's that's who it is. Nothing but tech. She's really good. I
Jacqueline.
like her. Jacqueline.
Yeah,
I'd love.
Yeah, I really like her. Yeah, she's cool. Do you know what? I'd like to have her because she's actually seems like a really cool person, and that's what.
Yeah, she's also worked her butt off to develop her. And she's a very young person. I mean, I wish I had my.
She's 21, isn't she?
I think she might be 23. But Jacqueline, for a person who, David Kogan, the unlocker. Is that dude live on a plane? That dude is flying everywhere all the fucking time. It's insane, right?
Yeah, I would like to have Dave Kogan.
Yeah, David Kogan would be great, and and obviously Michael Fisher, those kind of people. But really, I don't want to focus on all the large creators. I want to focus on the people. Like I loved having Shane. Scary If Literal is one of my favorite creators.
Shane's brilliant.
He's just so good, and then something with Adam, right? I mean, look at their channels. They're growing and growing and growing. Adam's even going on Viper as a podcast, right? He's also, I've seen him on another guy I reached out to who I've
Painfully Honest
Tech. I mean, I've had him on before, and he's fantastic. I love his content. I love all these guys. There's not anybody who I don't like. There's only one creator that I just don't care for, and I'm not mentioning the name, and I'm not gonna, and don't even ask me because I'm not gonna tell you who it is. But I just don't care about the guy. I'll
ask you after.
Yeah, I'll tell you who it is. But I reached out to him, and I made a comment on one of his videos, and he was extreme. And I don't think and you know me, I'm not a bomb thrower. I'm not, the kind of person. I'm usually pretty fair about the comments. And man, this guy just kind of came back with a really shitty comment. It could have been a bad day, and I was just like, I don't care. And then I watch how they move, and I'm like, that's not my kind of guy. So, but yeah, we will like to have those people on. So that's what we're looking forward to in season 3 of the podcast. We just need a logo from Joe, and I don't know, Joe, do you have any ideas? Have you not? I know you're busy.
I've literally not had a chance to really work on it. I need to get on it though. Definitely.
Right. So.
Yeah, I'm open to ideas, guys.
Right. Well, yeah. If anybody's got any kind of any street cred as far as the images or pictures or any logos or whatever, or just, I mean, I'd love to have a fan based logo for season 3 instead of us coming up with something. Yeah, that's okay.
That'd be cool.
You guys if you want to send it to, I think we have an email, don't we? I think we do.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, but we have got one. Right.
It's and then also. Speaking of that, we should also plug our sponsors. We have extremeskins.co.uk. That's our sponsor of the show. Great skins. They're coming out with new stuff all the time.
Yeah, just done the new Doodles one, haven't they? With dogs and cats and all sorts.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Not exactly my cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea, no. But yeah, you got to have different horses for different courses, isn't it?
Right, exactly. That's how better could be said. All I know is, do me a favor though, even if it isn't your cup of tea, they have a lot of things that may be your cup of tea. So
Absolutely.
Go check out the website, extremeskins.co.uk. And I think on Wednesdays usually do a buy one get one. So and I know you could go to the other brands and maybe they have some different kinds of stuff that they're offering. But I think as far as customer service, as far as quality of skins and price point, and also if you happen to take a picture of your application and it's a little off, they'll give you a little bit of trouble about it. So that's kind of cool.
They don't just skin phones. They skin laptops. They skin headphones. They skin all sorts. They skin your shit.
They skin all your shit.
Skin all your shit.
Eventually they'll skin cars. No, probably not. But maybe they would. I don't know. I'm just saying, but they got you covered. Yeah. Laptops, headphones, phones, all that stuff. Go check them out, extremeskin.co.uk. And also, I used to have to say it was a different name, but now you have the Nomad Tech YouTube channel, right? It's
Nomad Tech Project YouTube. Yeah.
We're all in alignment, man. I forgot about this also, folks. It is Lenny's birthday today.
Yes. Lenny's birthday. So he's 30.
He's what? He's
30. Yeah, big 30.
Jesus Christ, I turned 48 this year. I thought he was closer to my age. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, he's 30. I'm older than Lenny.
But Jesus Christ. I'm older than both of you, probably put together. Don't say nothing to DT. Fuck you if you're going to chat. I already know it's coming. I already said, as soon as I said, you know what's funny on this show is because Aditya is Aditya. As soon as I uttered that comment, I was like, oh shit. I just opened myself up to Aditya just basically giving me probably some Roman, some Sparta, something. I don't know.
Yep.
Cave paintings, whatever.
It's going to come up soon.
It's going to come up soon. I don't even know why I try to duck it anymore. It's just like.
Oh, Jermaine wants to say something.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Jermaine is allowed to say something.
You can say whatever you like. You have that privilege.
And yes, happy birthday to Lenny. Hopefully he's having a good day, enjoying it on a Sunday, that kind of thing. So absolutely. So we'll see what Jermaine has to say. No, not instant regrets. I just know when I just walked right into one of the details little comment traps. Oh, yeah, probably so. Yeah, I was in the back, and the problem is I moved a lot, and back then you couldn't move a lot because then it screwed up the shot. So I that's why you don't see me very much. I'm just blur. They actually got rid of that plate. They threw that out because I moved too much. Yeah, I was there. It's been a long time. I was a little kid, actually, back then. Yeah. So,
for God's sake.
That's whatever.
Joe, I want to plug PSC, Phone Show Chat. I was on there yesterday. That got released audio form today. So check that out if you want to hear my voice more.
Absolutely. And you should, because on this show, it's usually my voice, and we need more Joe. And that's another thing in season 3. Joe's going to talk a lot more.
Am I?
I'm not going to talk as much, so I guess it'll just be silence. But yeah.
Yeah. It'll just be like the Nomad Silence Project.
Absolutely.
No, yeah, I'm up for that. I can talk more. Yep.
Yeah,
definitely.
we're trying to change some things up here, but yeah, go check that out. If you aren't already a fan or a subscriber of the Phone Show Chat, you should do so, because Steve and Ted do an amazing job over there. They talk about phones. Steve's awesome. Ted's fantastic. The MeWe group. If you're already joined up to also don't forget our MeWe group, right?
I was about to say about that. Yeah, that's another thing. We're in season 3. We want to get our community together a bit more, so it's not just in this chat, it's ongoing, because all you cool guys would like to talk to you more.
Right. And I'm not feeling the whole Discord chat. I think we're gonna let the MeWe kind of work out and see.
Yeah, I think the MeWe's fun because you can post articles to each other. You can have the chat element, and you can have like the wall element where you post articles and stuff. So yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, I like the way the MeWe set up. It's a pretty good thing. And also, so yeah, check it out. So, go ahead and sign up for the MeWe. That'd be kind of fun. I know for a lot of folks, that's another, chat stream. So it'll be good. It'll be a good time. And yes, Joe is talking more for season 3. That is an exclusive.
He's not a mute.
And I don't think Joe was even aware of it because I just kind of said it right off the top of my head.
I wasn't.
But yeah.
No.
But definitely check him out. He did a great job on PSC. I listened to him
but I don't know about that.
No, man.
I don't know why. I was really nervous at the beginning, right? I don't know why, because there was no reason to be.
Right.
We've had Ted and Steve on our show.
Right.
They're both great guys. I had no reason to be nervous, but I was.
Yeah, but I mean, realize, but it's a little bit of change, right? You're a guest on their shows. That's not exactly the same kind of approach, right? You're not driving the conversation. That's a different dynamic. So being nervous on that would be, I mean, I guarantee if I was on somebody else's show as a guest, I would, the first couple of minutes it would be a little awkward because you got to get a flow for their style, their show. And that could be a little different than what we do. So
they're great guys. Obviously, it's pre-recorded, so you can make a few mistakes if you need to.
Yeah, unfortunately,
everything's in there.
It's all live, and I still to this day, even with the Across the Podcast, I have never audited 1 second of the audio. Never cut anything out, added anything. No. It's literally as it comes. Now, that probably would explain why we don't have we're not a professional grade podcast. But I just I don't want to go through the hassle, but I like the fact that it's organic and kind of fun. And if there's a mistake, I mean, if there's a mistake, that's okay. We're okay with that. We live with that. What
does everyone else in the chat think about us having specific genres we have for an episode? Because obviously with our chat, we just go anywhere. Would they like us to have this week we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z? Would they like that more, or I'm interested to know what people think. We want feedback, don't we?
Yeah, I want feedback for season 3 because this is where I think that we've had a couple of years now. It's about 50-ish or so episodes or so.
Yeah, this is the 30th of this season, so
we're trying to see, anybody else. And here's the thing: please do me a favor. I have absolutely zero goose egg ego. So, and neither does Joe. So it's one of those things where if you've got something, even if it's critical, even if it's negative feedback or constructive feedback, as they say, or even if something that you don't like, please sound off. I don't care, and you don't have to do it if you want to do it anonymously because you think I'm going to come at you, which I absolutely will never do that.
No.
But I need to know. I don't need to be told how great we are. We need to be told, hey, you guys could do this better. Or I was thinking, even if it's something that's off the wall, and even if it's something that you thought for yourself, that's I really wish that Sam and Joe would do X. Please sound off about it. And
I think they would be good at doing this. You guys probably know our strengths better than we do. I don't think very highly of myself. So what are our strengths? What would work for us? Let us know, guys.
I feel highly of Joe. I think we do a pretty good job considering that we're not professional radio people or professional podcasters, and that we don't really do this as a full-time job, right?
We're not even amateurs.
I don't know who we are, but yeah. And so please, this is really what we're asking for folks to do. Is I don't want to live in an echo chamber where I just have everybody tell us how great we are, even if it's criticism. I'm okay with that because
to be fair, when we did get feedback, we did fix it, as Jermaine says.
Yeah.
The camera quality for me was really poor when I used to use the tablet.
Absolutely. Well, and again, it's one of those things where, and I've been fighting, and now I think I finally have got what the other criticism was from Steve Litchfield was the fact that my audio was always very quiet. I think I finally have got it to where I think it's dealable. So, and again, content approaches what should we talk about? That kind of thing. And let it fly, man. Season 3 is going to be the season of fan engagement. This is where you guys can sound off about where directions go. We'll try out damn near anything. We're if there's something,
it's the season of community.
Season of community, right? That's what it is. Season 3, season of community, right? First year is us trying to figure out what's going on. Second year is we're finding that, and third year is getting the feedback and seeing what you guys all would like us to do.
And then we cancel because everyone tells us how shit we are. No, joking.
Right. Well, actually,
no, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere.
The funny thing is most of the feedback I've heard is fairly positive. And so I'm just wondering if, it's one of those things. And so I am using a Logitech camera, but I haven't set to 720p just because I don't have a lot of bandwidth where I am. And I've tried to go up higher, and it takes away from the audio component. So I think the 720 is kind of like the 90 hertz of displays, right? It's kind of the sweet spot. So it's
I think for a podcast going live, I think that's perfect, mate, to be honest.
Well, especially to the fact that they're really, honestly, at the end of the day, this is an audio podcast. We just happen to live stream, so really that's what this is. So it's that's what I use. I don't know. Joe's using. I guess you're using the.
This week I'm using my Pixel 7 Pro. Last week was the Xperia. I use different phones basically.
Yeah. So Barry says, I think having a mix of freestyle shows and something. Yeah, even you can even or. Yeah. More topics based. Yeah, and I agree. So when it's just us two, obviously, when we have a guest on like TK, you know, he's been involved in stuff. He's been to Germany. He's doing things. I really want to talk to TK, but I really felt bad about having him longer than 30 minutes on the show, just because, I mean, honestly, if I was sitting in that chair, I don't know if I would have jumped on the show. I probably would have, because I would have made a commitment, because that's I mean,
I felt bad that you might be missing something out, like missing on the
especially I mean, here's the thing, I've been to a bunch of NFL games, so I don't, you know, to me it's like, you know, and I don't know if he's a Chargers or I don't know if he's a Chargers fan.
I don't know if he even cares, but
I don't think he really cares, but it's the experience of this is your first game. You need to absorb all that. So,
do you know, it's made me so happy seeing TK that happy as well. Loved it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. And he's, thankfully. Yeah. I think I've kind of figured out how this microphone works. So I think I may have figured out the audio quality. So I appreciate the feedback on that. 6 seasons in a movie. Yeah. Maybe Michael Bay, maybe write it like an action.
Sam, do you know what I realized that I keep forgetting to do, right? I have my Google VPN on both my phones. And I sometimes have it on. And obviously that's going to affect my connection slightly. So I've turned my VPN off now for this episode. But yeah, previous episodes, I've probably had it on. Whoops.
Yeah, although it's a bit, I like to have shtick. It's like, what's in your drawer? Okay, yeah, I like the what's in the drawers. I kind of like that too. I like that. That's kind of.
We need to have more segments like that.
Yeah, like what's in your drawers, and then obviously that's a double pun.
Yeah.
Because and I don't get the reference, but drop in the chat because I saw 6 seasons in a movie. There's got to be some kind of a reference to that. I did catch it, but I don't know exactly what the reference is, so don't forget it. Jermaine says 720 is fine. Cool, that's good. Oh yeah. Oh, he's just sick. He's got a little bit of a cold, so hopefully you feel better. Make sure hydrate. He's a doctor. What the fuck am I telling?
I mean, yeah, he knows what he's doing. Although doctors make the worst patients, though, I hear.
Right, but I think he generally knows how to, fight a viral infection with fluids and breath, and hydration, and make sure he eats.
But he's such a bad patient; he's refusing to do it.
Well, he's busy. So, and we had TK. Oh, yeah, TK Bay instead of we'll have TK Bay direct our movie. I think TK would be fine at that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so 50 minutes is a lot of time. Maybe the first 20 minutes briefly go through the news, but then later on the half a show. Okay, yeah, like a news block, like maybe 2 or 3 that we want to talk about. The only thing is, and I agree with
I know what you're going to say, Sam, as well. It's because we don't want to be like ones where we go through news so much. But we could touch on things that are...
Yeah, it was more about I don't want it to be too formulaic. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I just want to kind of, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, also my question is going to be like, what happens if it's a weak news block and you're trying to pull news in that really is like, I don't know. I think it works if there's a lot of food on the plate, as it were. I think on a light week or a light time, and there might be always something. I agree, but yeah, we should try to do something where we talk about things and then kind of spill into it. I agree, and especially it's a longer show. I like
that a Q&A segment. Do you mean with the live chat?
Yeah, we could, and that's and then I guess that's one of those things where maybe we would pose a question to the chat. Hey, this is what's going on with, like, I guess a good segment would have been, even though we're not exactly Apple people, would have been, hey, you're seeing all this situation with iPhone 15 and heating, and they're addressing it with a software update, and here we are. So they've made a lot of changes. Like, what do you think about that? Do you think the criticism's fair? Do you think it's unfair? Do you think it's people just, you know what I mean? And kind of seeing, putting to the chat, letting everybody kind of throw some questions up there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Peter's got a good point as well. With the MeWe, we can use that before shows to sort of make topics. Yeah.
And that's a good point. I didn't even think about leveraging MeWe like that. That would actually be pretty good. So we should try to do that. So that's what I'm saying. These are the great kinds of ideas that we need to kind of keep, because again, this is for you all. This is not necessarily for us. It's for both of us. It's something that we're doing to kind of provide value, but it's also something for you guys to kind of be able to communicate and contribute and participate with. We want to make sure that that's huge for us.
Yep, massive for us. We yeah, definitely, man.
Okay, so he's saying he's very clear. So that's when it's just me and you, where we have the news block, and then
I've gathered that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm glad he clarified that. So that's kind of good. So we'll make sure.
Although where we're going to stick to like a regular bunch of people most of the time, we said about how we're going to go. We know they've got this X device. They've had it for 6 months. How are they getting on with that device? So it'll be like continuous. Like Dan for Grounded Tech, for example, he'll be on more regularly.
And with that, I like Luis's comment. And thanks, Luis. I know you always show up. I appreciate it. So, what phone are you rocking? Panel and chat. So so that's for what because people are rocking different. Not everybody who's watching this is rocking the most current. They might be having an iPhone. They might be So having a segment of like, what phone are you rocking? Like, what are you doing? What's your daily driver? What's your go-to? What are you thinking? I think that's a good suggestion.
We kind of do that, don't we? We mention what we've got.
More of a formalized, right? Like talking about that and people are, because we realize that on top of all these phones coming out, people are upgrading or changing, or maybe going with a different OEM, maybe Samsung to Xiaomi to.
Where's the SIM, Sam?
Where's the SIM, Sam? Absolutely. Where's your SIM? So absolutely. So I think that's a good way to. And we're at 116, so I think we're good, man. And again, very much thank you to all of the people in the chat, and Barry and Nick and DT and Peter and Luis and Jermaine, Scoop and Barry and everybody that came in. And thanks for showing up again. This is technically the last episode of season 2. We don't really know what that means. And again, as always, thank you so much to DK for being a gamer, man. Really showing up and really knowing he was busy. Didn't absolutely bail on us. Like, he could have easily said, hey, can we reschedule till next week or whatever? And for him to do that was really awesome, and really, really appreciate TK. And I would love to actually have them on more often, but I know that they're busy, and that's the other thing we run into, right? These creators that are really busy, like TK and David Kogan, they're on planes all the time. They're flying places. They're having those people show up to things and give good commentary and good feedback and good and good videos about their products. So absolutely. So TK is absolutely legend, and what better way to end the season with having TK on, and I'm hoping he enjoys the game. It's a good time. NFL football is a blast. I will say though, however, of all the 3 sports, I find NFL football to be the hardest to watch live, only because if you don't get where they're sitting is fantastic, but if you're sitting up above them in a corner, it's rough to watch a football game when you're sitting way up high. It's hard to see the plays develop. I would say the best live event in American sports is NHL hockey, by far the best. Next,
I'd love to see it. Yeah, basketball,
college or NBA, and then Major League Baseball, then football. As far as live, love watching football live, but on TV. But NHL hockey in the arena is nothing better than watching an NHL game live, especially if you get kind of mid-level or close or center ice. Man, it's awesome. It's a fantastic.
None of it's as good as proper football.
Not as proper. And honestly, it's not so much the sport. I would get more into the crowd engagement and all the stuff going on.
Yeah,
that's where I would.
You love the chanting, don't you?
Absolutely, that stuff's awesome. It's a good time. So anyway, we're good. We're good. So through Jermaine's lens, we got a bunch of people. I mean, so again, please keep that feedback coming. Please tell me how, in season 3, how we can improve, things you're looking for, segments you're having, ideas, and anybody in the chat. If you want to come on the show, email us, send us a text message. Come on. Absolutely. We will carve out time for you, because a lot of these folks in here have been on, but some haven't. And we would love to have it. And there's our, for folks for that way. There you go. There's the MeWe.com. Download the app. There's an app. Sign up for it. Get involved. And I have to be good about engaging in the chat. I'm not very good about that. So I have to do that for more.
Yeah. I'm trying to do it more. That's why I have the chat on my tablet now, so I can see what the guys are saying.
Yep. And I agree with Jimmy. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Hydrate. Make sure you don't. And also for anybody who may be under the weather, like our buddy Aditya, hopefully you can get past that cold pretty quickly. Remember, hydration, rest, fluids, and also make sure you eat something. Get some food in you. Right. Feed it cold. That's what they want.
And enjoy your tech.
Enjoy your tech. And again, Nomad Tech Project YouTube channel. Check out extremeskins.co.uk. Make sure you get a skin your shit. And then we will be back probably next week. And we may take a break. I don't know. Me and Joe have to talk about that. Probably not. We'll probably just come on. We'll just get a logo. Even if we have a placeholder, that's okay for season 3.
When you skin your shit, take a picture and put it on our MeWe group.
And then I will load the MeWe group and I will show it to people in the chat and we will share it with the entire community about what you've skinned.
Yeah, that's what we can do as well.
How your shit is skinned.
Yeah, so we can go through the MeWe group, right? Like the wall, and you can say, well, blah, blah, put this up this week. I thought this was a great article or blah. Yeah, that's quite good.
Yeah, so we'll try it. But like I said, season 3, it's going to be the year, the season of experimentation.
Third time lucky.
and just don't be a full kit wanker. That's all you got to be.
Yep.
Just don't be a full kit wanker. So for myself and for Joe, thanks for everybody showing up again. Thanks for taking your time on a Sunday. Download the podcast, listen to it in your favorite podcast aggregators, and make sure that you let everybody know that we got a new season coming up of the Nomad Tech Project, and you should check it out. It's pretty good. Good times. And we'll enjoy all of your tech. Take care of each other. Hope you feel better. Have a good week. Be excellent to each other. And Joe and I will see you next Sunday on the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Take care.